Okay, so we're here with Thaddeus, and we're trying to see if there's a potential link here with this body that you found January 4th around 7 p.m. Is that right?
Yeah, it was around 7 p.m. Sun was setting. The sun was up when I had discovered the body, and the sun had set by the time that I'd called 911.
Okay, gotcha. And we're trying to see if there's a link between that body that was found and some of the others. We really have no idea yet. It's kind of, we're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Absolutely.
But we just want you to give us a walkthrough of what happened when you got here and all the events that precipitated after that.
Well, I had become part of a group chat, a cannabis enthusiast group chat on Facebook, and so I decided to take
a Get High group chat.
Get High group chat on
Right.
Facebook. So I decided to take them down to one of my local Austin Get High spots. Where you go and you have your safety meeting with your friends, and there are a lot of beautiful spots in town, and I like to be near the water and look at the skyline. And so I took them, and I went and found a spot down here, and as I was going to my actual spot to smoke weed and take some pictures of the skyline, I noticed that there was what I thought at the time to be a homeless, probably drunk, passed out person laid out
Right.
in the area. And so I
And you thought they were drunk or passed out because there was a bottle of vodka.
There was an
next to
open
it.
bottle next to them, and there was belongings of theirs that had been kind of strewn about. And so I just figured with the homeless area, the homeless issues that are going on in Austin, that this is probably a homeless person. And so they're just drunk and passed out, and we've all had our
Relatively normal thing for
relatively
a
normal
homeless
thing.
person to do.
Yeah. And so I take a picture of the scene, and I post it in the group chat stating, this guy is in my spot. I can't really go and show you because this guy's kind of drunk and passed out here. So I'm just going to walk up to the bench and kind of do my thing, and then I'll take some pictures and post it later. Well, the group grew a little bit concerned from that time frame because, the guy was just there and he hadn't moved, and I'd stated that he hadn't moved for a while, and upon kind of thinking about it, he was getting a little bit more discolored, as
Like turning
grayish or purplish.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
When I went there, I made a joke. I made a joke in the group saying, like, this 50-50 could be a dead person, but he's probably just a passed out homeless drunk
Okay.
person, And silly me. Anyway, so the group decided to have me go check on them, and so I went and checked on them. And I
Okay.
did
Gotcha. So walk us through this now.
So
Through here.
I'm coming down here, and normally this is a safe place to go. Like, this really is a safe place. There's not a lot of homeless activity that necessarily goes on in this area because it's really kind of secluded.
Right.
But
And this is where you go to get stoned and play guitar, I'm guessing.
I had my acoustic guitar with me, and I like to come over here and stand literally right here where the water comes and sit down, and it's a beautiful shot right here of the skyline, and I've just been coming over here for the better part.
So you're
of the
usually
decade.
sitting over here, and the body was over here.
The body was here. The body was right here, and he was laid out in that quintessential flailed out fashion. Hey, Duck. And yeah, his belongings were here. The bottle was right here. And I remember when I first came down here and I noticed him, I did notice that he was really passed out drunk, if he was passed out drunk. That was the first thing that came to my mind. But I'm going to be 100% honest. I didn't want to deal with him at the time. I was in my own frame of mind.
Right.
I work a recovery program, Cali sober. I don't drink anymore. I don't do hard drugs. Cannabis and music is kind of where my thing is at right now. And I was going to leave his energy over there
No, yeah.
for a little bit and come do my own thing. But then whenever I came over and I actually checked on him, and I did this thing, and there was no movement, and I tried to call him, and I didn't touch him. I wasn't going to go that far.
Okay.
And I called 911, and I called 911 when I was kind of standing between here and there. And when I was on the phone with 911, right across here is when I noticed the guy in the like a black hoodie, and he wasn't large or anything. It was just a guy in a black hoodie, just kind of super concerned about what was going on over here.
Was he here prior to you getting here?
If he was, I don't remember. like, mind you, I wasn't paying too much attention to that area.
Your focus is over in this realm.
I was walking down here because this is my spot.
Okay,
you know?
so what about this graffiti?
So that's another thing. So when I posted the picture in the group chat, I didn't notice any of the graffiti on here, but then someone pointed out that there's actually, you know, satanic graffiti here. There's like a 666, and whether or not this was here before the incident happened, I don't know, but the person who pointed that out did tell me that here, back in the, you know, the Riverside, Montopolis area and all the homelessness, there is a known satanic, like, cult type thing.
Okay.
There's lots of satanic occult symbols that are graffitied in the one of the tunnels that are over there.
But you didn't see anybody spray painting this?
Anybody come over here and spray paint or anything like that. This was already here when I came over.
Okay.
Yeah, this was everything.
And the gentleman who was over here, what did he look like?
I mean, it was dark. The sun had already gone down at this point.
So that guy wasn't here when you first got here. It was just this guy.
If he was here, he was up
hiding
over there waiting.
Okay.
Just hanging out.
Gotcha.
You know, but whenever I was over here and I started the phone call and I came over this way, he was extremely concerned about what I was doing over here. And then
did he say anything to you?
No, because he was gone before the police came.
But he was looking at you and watching what you were doing?
He was definitely looking. I was looking for lights on the street. I was waiting for the police to come, so I was half paying attention to him, half paying attention to the lights, you know?
Gotcha, okay. And how long after you found the body did you actually call the police?
Maybe an hour and a half, maybe.
Okay.
An hour.
And that's how long after you realized that it was a dead body did you call the police?
When I was 100% for sure it was a dead body, I called the police.
Okay, gotcha. And
there was a 50-50 chance. We were. Now, mind you, I'm just being 100 here. We were making jokes in the chat, lighthearted stuff, you know, like this could or could not be. You know, none of us really thought it was an actual past unalived person out here. But unfortunately, that's what the situation was.
Were there any signs of physical trauma to the body? Were there needles around?
There was no drug paraphernalia.
Only the liquor, only the vodka.
Only the liquor. And then someone pointed out to me that the guy actually had like decent work boots on. His clothes weren't all messed up or dirty, and his belongings are actually quite nice. I think in the picture there's a laptop that's somewhere like right over here.
Yeah.
So he may not have been a homeless person. You know, he could have been a migrant worker, or I don't know what, but
was it a white guy?
Well, when I found him, he was a gray guy. So I want to say white or Mexican. I want to say he had short cropped hair.
What about the guy over here? Was that
just a hoodie?
That's all you could. You couldn't tell the ethnicity, but you could tell it was a male, though.
I could tell it was probably a male. Yeah.
Okay. And there was no blunt force trauma to the head or blood or anything like that?
There was nothing that would indicate that wasn't just a passed out drunk person.
Okay, so did the body seem bloated?
No. I don't have a lot of experience with bodies.
Yeah,
so I don't have a lot of frame of reference. But he didn't. I did remember that from the time that I first found the body, the color had slightly changed.
So it could have been a freshly dead body. What did the police say when the police got here?
They just asked what I was doing while I was down here. I just told them I was playing guitar.
Well, the Austin police wouldn't care if you were smoking pot anyway. Did you tell the police about the other guy that was here?
I didn't, because I didn't think about all of this until after the fact. I was kind of in shock. I'd posted the picture.
And you were stoned.
And I was stoned.
Yeah. No, I'll lend you some.
You know, if you want to.
A buffer.
But I was also kind of in a little bit of shock. I wasn't really. I just tried to give them the information that they asked for so I could leave.
Yeah. You know? I know. Yeah, and. I get where you're coming from. I've dealt with the police a lot, unfortunately. Do you think that this is connected to any of these other bodies they're finding?
I don't have a lot of information about what's going on with the other stuff.
Okay.
But
do you think this guy could have been drowned? And do you think that the dude that was here, very interested in what was going on, is at all related to this?
He definitely wasn't drowned because there was no wetness. So it wasn't like the body was pulled out of the lake or anything like that. The guy, whatever happened here where it happened. And I'm convinced that the guy that was over there definitely had something to do with it, and I just stumbled upon something as it
A potential murder, but
after the fact. But
Okay.
that's just speculation. At
gotcha.
This point,
Okay,
you know?
cool. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.